If you're anything like me, you always wonder why people dumber than you are always rich, and this profound question led me to a rabbit hole of jealousy and confusion and intrigue. You see, back in March 9th, 1009 was the first ever reference that the country Lithuania existed at all. It was when a Christian missionary named Bruno of I can't say that word, so for me not to get canceled, I will call him Bruno of Farquad. You see, Farquaad traveled to the east part of Europe to convert the pagan countries into Christians, and when he set foot in Lithuania and tried to convert them into Christians, he of course got decapitated. Now you as a viewer might be wondering where I'm going with this, and that's fine. I don't expect you to be on the same level of intellect as me, but hear me out. Farquaad's plan actually worked, and he did turn Lithuania into a Christian country. He succeeded, is what happened, and his legacy will be remembered as long as Lithuania lives on. This is where I finally understood that being dumb is actually an advantage, as you have an idea on what you want to do, but you do not think of the consequences or risks, and therefore you go and actually do it. Ignorance is bliss. Stupidity is success. I find that every single time I have one of those negative thoughts, I get sad, which is a common emotion when you feel negative about yourself all the time. I look out the window and I see London, one of the biggest cities in the world, and one of the more beautiful ones, but I can't help but stare at its imperfections and its dark parts of the city, and suddenly I go from seeing beauty into ugliness. This sudden realization that when I tell people that London is a shithole and that they should never move here is only driven by my distorted vision of how I see this city. And it pains me that I may have influenced somebody to not visit a beautiful city and experience the culture that the city provides. It's something I've reflected on through my journey of being the best version of myself I could ever be. Half-Life 2 is a game where humanity is doomed as their curiosity into experimenting with the border world of Zen made them the target to be taken over by a more powerful alien species called the Combine. This game shows the aftermath of the saying, curiosity killed the cat, and of course, I started to analyze the Combine, and what I found has answered all of the questions I propose in this video. You see, the Combine are these Goliaths that cannot be beaten, and they have a massive empire in the Half-Life universe, as you can see with their arsenal of weapons ranging from humans deconstructed into soldiers to creatures from other planets turned into weapons of mass destruction. It is Earth against the Combine in the Half-Life universe, but from our point of view, it would look like a single human against the entire population of 7 billion people. The odds of this singular planet beating the Combine is pretty much impossible, and yet the humans succeed. Without knowing how truly powerful the Combine are, they manage to defeat this Goliath, and it leads me back to the ignorance is bliss and stupidity is success part. Without fully knowing anything about their enemy, they still manage to defeat them, which brings me back to the original question. Why people dumber than you are always rich? And I think the answer is that every single idea we come up with, we immediately shut it down with, oh, I can't do that, or it's too ambitious, or the chance of failure is huge. As we're too aware of the big and likely outcomes of failure, but if you didn't try, how are you correct with what you said? It is just a distorted vision you have as you focus on the smaller details without looking at the bigger picture. You may find that this obstacle is a mountain, but in actuality, it can be a mere hill from other points of view. And I think that this video should finally be enough for you to finally stand up from your desk, leave your room, and go to the living room and finally, with this newfound confidence and realization, see that your mom is indeed fat.